Hello friends, my name is Marina and this is Rapunzel Fiber Arts. I am here outside at a friend's house because we are going to be washing some wool again. And what's different about what we're going to be washing today is that we're going to be lock washing our wool locks. So I have this really lovely Polwarth fleece, which I have done a little bit of processing on and really liked the results. So I'm just going to show you what I do to lock wash wool. So this is, like I said, a Polwarth fleece. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a staple length of, I'd say, 3 or 4 inches. Gorgeous crimp. I think this was coated, so it doesn't have like any VM at all. And it's really soft, no fragility. It's a really sturdy, strong, fine wool fleece, which is pretty nice to come across. And so what I do when I wash fleeces like this that I intend to eventually comb is I want to maintain this lock structure like this. I don't want to take a handful and shove it in hot water because that's going to rumple up the locks and they won't be as easy and organized to set up for combing, which I will show you how to do in a later video. So I've got this stack of mesh baskets. They are mesh on the bottom and the sides, and they nest. And these are important for reasons that will become clear in a little bit. But what I do is I just take my lock and lay it in the bottom of the mesh basket. And I'm gonna do 2, maybe 3 rows of locks. And then I will lay it flat like this and stack another one on top. And that will hold the lock in place so that it maintains that lock structure. So I'm going to just do that process. I'm just going to lay out these locks in the bottom of the mesh bins and then stack and repeat the process. And then we're going to put that in hot water in this bin, which is sized pretty perfectly for our mesh baskets. And then we will have some washed Polwarth. So I am just going to get to work doing this, and I will touch base with you in a little bit. Alright friends, so here I am just peeling apart the locks, laying down a new basket once I fill the one beneath it. And you can see the method that I'm using here for pulling apart the locks is finding the tip end, which are kind of a little bit lighter, they're a little bit sun bleached. And so I'm finding the tip end of the lock and peeling apart from the tip to the butt end. This is the best way to keep your locks organized and not have too much waste. It's still a skill I'm figuring out and getting the hang of, but between the very beginning of the day and the end of the day when I finished the bag of fleece that I'm processing here, I made a lot of progress and got a lot better at separating those locks. So I was pretty happy with that. And so just as I fill these and add the next basket, I'm just gonna keep repeating that until every basket except for the very top one is full, because I need something to bookend the locks so that they aren't floating. Alright, and here I am adding about a tablespoon of soap. This is my recipe pretty much whenever I'm washing wool, is 1 tablespoon of soap to however much water I'm using. And again, the soap that I use is the Unicorn Fiber Power Scour, which I like using quite a bit. And then I push it into the water, pulling it out again to slightly agitate and make sure that the water is going all the way through all those layers of wool, and then pushing it back down into the water. Here you can see the baskets are just kind of floating at the water surface. This is fine. You just want to make sure that the baskets themselves don't separate, because then you're going to lose the locks. And you can also see how dirty that water is. So here I am starting a second batch. So I'm adding soap to a fresh bin and then swirling it around a bit, as I always do. And then I'm going to take these baskets, pull them out of the water, letting as much of that dirty water drain out as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick it into the clean, soapy water. I'm going to pull it out to try to drain out all of the dirty water and make sure that I'm getting fresh, clean, soapy water integrated. All right, friends, so this was the first bath for our lock washed yarn. You can see how dirty that water is in comparison to the second soak. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that dirt level decreasing with each consecutive wash. This is another wash cycle, not a rinse. So I'll probably do this one, maybe one more wash, but I think we should be good with just 2 and then a rinse. So stay tuned and I will continue showing you the process. All right, friends, so these locks are now in the rinse water. The second wash was not super dirty, so I think we're good to go straight into a rinse. And then our lock washed locks will be done and ready to start drying. So that's pretty cool. All right, friends. So our Polwarth lock washed locks are done with their rinse. So I'm just going to take those. This is why you want mesh on the bottom of the basket as well as the sides, so that all that water can drain right out. So this is what it looks like. It's still very wet and drippy, but those locks have maintained their structure while they were in the wash, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm just going to take these and flip them out, and those should dry very quickly because they're only one lock thick. So these locks are all still soaking wet, but give them a minute or a few and they will be dry again. All right, friends, here is some of the washed locks that we washed today. You can see that they still have their lock structure. All of these are the tips, and then this is the butt end of all the locks. So these should be in good shape for some combing. They're already almost completely dry. It's It's not surprising because it is a very thin layer of fiber that's drying, but it is satisfying that it dries so quickly. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope you get some crafting in if that's what you'd like to do, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, friends.